This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show, because we are here to hang out and talk about sim racing news and what's going on in the world of sim racing. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got out there and did a lot of racing on your own behalf and enjoyed this wonderful hobby sport, common interest that we all have. I did get to do some racing, even though I was on the road, got back Friday, was wiped out. But despite that, on Saturday, I did get to do Thunder Motorsports. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a ton. Thunder Motorsports 34. Getting in on the keeping the wheels action on a Monday. Thank you again. Yeah, I got to do some driving. I got to do some Le Mans. The 24-hour Le Mans is coming up. It marks the 1-year anniversary of the Simpit Tech Endurance team. And very excited. We have switched to the BMW. You can see our beautiful car. That's I think that's close to the final paint, but not quite. We're still tweaking paint, still tweaking setups, and we're now getting down to business. About 3 weeks till the race. June 1st is the race, and the teams are forming, and we are gearing up for that. So I did do some racing or driving on Saturday and Sunday in that car, and getting up to speed. 2 days of practice. I'm feeling pretty good with only 2 days under my belt. Plenty of time to get ready, but I think we're taking things a little more seriously this time around as we start year 2 of the endurance series with our guys. So very, very cool about that. Someone asked, did I give my mom a present? I actually went, we did something cool. So Saturday we actually spent with my mom for Mother's Day, and then we sent her flowers and edible arrangements on Sunday, which she didn't expect at all. So we didn't really get her a gift, but we got her some things so she feels loved and appreciated. And once again, happy Mother's Day to all of your mothers, because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't know you. We wouldn't be friends. We wouldn't be able to race together. So thank you, moms out there. Happy Mother's Day as we finish that weekend. So what did you guys do? What was fun for you over the weekend as far as racing goes? I'll tell you one other thing that went on for me in racing this weekend. I actually watched the Blancpain series. Actually, I should come back to that when we get to some Assetto Corsa news. We'll come back to that topic. I did watch some racing this weekend. I watched a little of the IndyCar. I watched a little of the Formula One, and I watched a little of the Blancpain. And you can hear Max is through the roof excited about all of those things there. So let's turn on to the news, and we'll bring up some other things as we get through the news as far as what we race, what we drive, and how real life motivates us or inspires us to in terms of what we want to do on track, if that makes sense. First up, talking iRacing. I don't know if you guys remember this last year, the Ignite series. Ignite series. I'm saying that Ignite. Ignorant. Ignite. The Ignite series returns for a second series. This was the one that was really made for kids, for children. This was their young person outreach program that they had going on. And there were some serious prizes at stake. Well, it's continuing on for a second season, so that's cool because, you know, one of the things we talk about the explosion of the esport is that, great, this super professional rank has been created and people are making tons of money. What about the lower? What about the semi-pro? What about the amateur level with some, payouts a little bit? So that's what I'm looking for in the future is what rides the coattails of big esport. So as somebody wins $100,000 or $200,000, what about the lower ranks? Can we win $100? Can we win $200? Can we have events that are restricted to just certain levels even? Anyway, Ignite series is going round 2 for young drivers. Most of us aren't eligible. Really, really great lap action in the iRacing Porsche races. Tommy Osgaard ends up winning, VRS driver, ends up winning in what was an incredible finish. And it reminds me, see, Max thinks it's incredible too. Max is going crazy for this finish. Anyway, just some really great sim racing, and we've been showing off some of the outlaw sprint races and the realism and the entertainment value of those races. And when I'm watching this and I'm seeing two guys coming down to the wire in a door to door, fender to bumper battle, it is as good as any form of racing you're going to see. If you did watch the Blanc Pain, if you watched the IndyCar, Gamer Muscle in the house. What up, my brother? What's up? So really cool action there that I think is entertaining and shows off just the talent level that we've achieved, the realism that we've achieved, and hopefully in return the entertainment, the bang for the buck on this whole esport idea. So anyway, that's cool action out of iRacing going on. In addition to that, I haven't even watched it, but sometimes I haven't seen this one. Oh, let's mute that. But they also did release on the 11th their April's Top 10 Racing Highlights. I know a bunch of you guys managed to get in the highlights from time to time. I haven't watched this one yet, but we do have another. You got to go to their YouTube channel to actually watch it. So they have a link there at their Facebook page, and you could, of course, see the actual advertisement prior to the video. Anyway, there's their top 10 moments. You can check that out. Just checking in with you guys. John Hill talking about his DD wheel, which is still sitting on the ground or in a box. Oh, yes. The bald brother. Gotta love it. Love you too, buddy. All right, on with the show. This is getting crazy. Assetto Corsa Competizione having some new screenshots of Silverstone. Now, I talked about watching the Blanc Pain series. Do I have to put the disclaimer up for Blanc Pain? I don't even know if I say that word right. Just be safe. Leave that up. I should just put that on, like, for the whole show. I should just make that a permanent fixture of the show. Anyway, some shots of Silverstone. And quite honestly, there are a few of these that if I didn't look twice, I would have assumed they were actually photographs. So it's really cool to see some really quality shots of Assetto Corsa Competizione. I also watched that battle between the Ferrari and the Lamborghini for the lead that was just amazing and went on for, I don't know, what was it? Did anybody else watch that race? It was a 20-minute battle for the lead between a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, and the Ferrari prevailed, and I was super happy because I think the Lamborghini driver is a driver that I can't stand. I have to double check my information, but I was very happy to see the Ferrari. But anyway, what it really pointed out to me, and something that to an extent lacks in sim racing sometimes, and sometimes it can be done. But I'm watching a series where I'm watching the Lamborghini versus the Ferrari versus the Mercedes versus the BMW versus, the Aston Martin, the Bentley, and this variety of cars that the Ferrari was quicker, or I'm sorry, handled better, but the Lamborghini was quicker. So it took utilizing the performance benefits of the Ferrari to get by the Lamborghini. And so through the lineup, the Bentley is big, but it's even more powerful. Anyway, I love the idea of series that really allow you to race multiple different types of cars. It was so patient, Stefan. The patient is the word. He stalked him and stalked him and stalked him and waited until the moment that was right. And then after all of that, it was a very easy pass. It was a clean, easy pass. I was so impressed with that driving. That was just some of the best I've seen and really, really entertaining. So what I like about Assetto Corsa Competizione coming is that maybe we're going to have a really good, well-matched car with a lot of concentration, I'm hoping, from them in future development of, like, BOP adjustments to make sure that they are kept really fair battle. And I know other series have multi-cars in one class, and they also do BOP, balance of performance, balance of power, balance of performance adjustments to the cars to keep them hopefully equally matched. But I'm hoping, again, one of the things that I love in concept about Competizione, and we can argue all day long about its pros, its cons, but one of the things that I'm very optimistic for is the concentration to detail when you have a one series title like this. I hope. I'm crossing my fingers, and on the 29th, we're going to know. Now, good news, bad news. going with Assetto Corsa Competizione. So there's this article, and I think Friday we'll probably talk more in detail about this. So I'm just going to graze over it. In their forums for Assetto Corsa Competizione, they address the multiplayer matchmaking system, and they without saying it, they actually acknowledge iRacing and say a lot of people are hoping that with their competition system that they're going after iRacing and doing that. And in reality, they've done no such thing. They have enhanced, in their words, the existing match player that you would be accustomed from in Assetto Corsa, and they've refined it, in their words, and they will continue to play with the community as the game launches and continue to make adjustments to that. But there's going to be no big giant hosting back end like you see on an iRacing. That's not coming. Oops, sorry about that. That is not coming from Assetto Corsa Competizione. So that's one thing. Yeah, and the IndyCar race was awesome too. Another case of stalking, but yet a much larger gap that had to be chewed down. Another really, outside of Formula One, there was some really good racing this weekend. Mark Pickford, looking forward to the Indy 500. I haven't put any effort into that. I really probably need to get my act together and get in on the Indy 500 coming up, next weekend maybe, or the weekend after? Oh, not a lot of time. All right. Usually we only talk about RFactor 2 at the end of the month when they're doing their roadmap type stuff. But, we all know, and they did promote and talk about the Formula E 2019 release. So on May 10th, they had a write-up, because that's when it actually came out. So I know some people have, I think Gamer Muscle already got out and drove this car. I have not driven it yet, but here is, and it looks beautiful. Monaco E Pre, I guess they're calling it. Typically when they do it, is it shorter? So 1.765 kilometers. I'm assuming there's a cutoff and it's not quite the full length of Monaco, or is it with the battery upgrades? I don't know. But anyway, for you to know, they do have a write-up, some cool shots of it, and you can now get out there and try that as well. We did talk about that as part of the roadmap as well. All right, one moment. Yeah, well, maybe it opens the door for sim racing systems. Dave Blair and people mentioning SRS, and SRS is kind of like an attempt in the direction of an iRacing type structure, but not quite nearly as refined and deep. But it is more. It's certainly an enhancement to Assetto Corsa. So I'm sure I'm hoping that they will incorporate Assetto Corsa Competizione from what, they're saying in that post from Assetto. I would expect it, perhaps. Cranky, yes. You know what? I have a review half written. This month was really hard because I was out of town for the race, which took a little preparation. And then I was out of town with my trip to Hendrick. And so with all those things going on, I admittedly have gotten very far behind. But yes, I've pretty much written the entire review, and I just need to get down to filming it and editing it and putting it out. So you can count on that coming up pretty soon. Let me remind myself. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just hard to keep up with at times. I'm going to expedite that. I'm also expediting a load cell mod upgrade to the Thrustmaster T3PA pedals. So that could be a game changer for Thrustmaster drivers as well. All right, what else? What else to talk about? RFactor, more. They just had some shots at the Monaco E-Pre. It's a shot, I should say. But this is what the setup that they had at the race. So when the fans went to the Monaco E-Pre, they had this set up there with the Fanatec wheels and what looks like a play seat. It's hard to determine from here. It looks like a play seat Formula chassis, big single screen, and giving people the experience of running that car and track on site there at Monaco. That's kind of cool. What else? Project Cars, they had their big SMSR championship, and they crowned VP Gaming the winners in the pro class. Here's a picture of those guys. And then Khaki is the name of the guy who won the Challenger class. There he is, the champion there. So we have 2 champions declared in the world of Project Cars, the SMS series, which we've talked a little bit throughout time. We cover it from time to time, just so you guys know. Tim, I guess, Tim says that in RaceRoom, they say that if you quit an online race, it hurts your score, yet you see people quit every race. You could say the same thing in iRacing. I mean, there are some people who just kind of don't care about their score. They're there for the racing. And then there are others that wear their score, or gamer score, on their sleeve. Like it's a piece of pride, It kind of just depends. I mean, one of the things I say, as a reviewer, as somebody who's trying to embrace the entire world of sim racing, one thing that I always try to keep in mind is that, we have so many words for saying, or so many sayings, but, different strokes for different folks, but to each his own. In the world of sim racing, we all have completely different needs. We all have completely different reasons for being here. And there are some who want uber realism. Tim, you and I talk about stick shifts, H-pattern shifters all the time. And, you're a huge advocate of using an H-pattern and your justification being the realism. And I completely agree with you. And yet, if somebody's going for optimal times, there might be an actual advantage to using sequential shifters and paddle shifters in particular. So maybe that's, since if their competition is what they're most critical of, that's what they're going to be thinking. And anyway, when I think about every game, every sim, every product, and every justification for how we play, I try to keep that in mind. We're all here for so many different reasons. Arsenal, we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Yep. And all of our guys should be pretty ready for it, because that's the car we're driving at Le Mans. What do you know? What else? RaceRoom. You'd think I'd be talking about the Volkswagen Challenge. I'd love to get back to that. I don't know if I have time with how... I shouldn't get back to that. I'd love to, but I don't have the time. But they do have another event going on. The next special event in RaceRoom will take place on May 25th. Takes us back to the 80s and 90s with, ready for this? Group C. Gotta love Group C racing. So Group C racing coming May 25th. Special event in RaceRoom with the GTO and also the Porsche 964 for 2 hours at Road America. You can enter now. All drivers will be invited to the multiplayer races on May 25th. So they have a link there from their Twitter, and you can start preparing for Road America in some cool car classes. Look at the Nissan. Look at that. Oh, look at the Nissan. All right, so that could be good fun. You guys should check it out. And bad news, I guess, for fans of... Bad news for fans of Citroën. Those funny French cars. Au revoir, as they say. But RaceRoom is announcing that Citroën, the entire marquee of Citroën and the FIA WTCC cars in particular, are being pulled from RaceRoom. So, not sure what's going on there. I'm assuming some form of a licensing agreement. Never thought that Citroën would feel that they are like Ferrari-esque and that they can be very... I don't know who to point a finger and who's to blame, but it's a shame. Never like hearing that a marquee is being pulled. Don't know what it means behind the scenes, but it means if you're a big fan of that marquee in RaceRoom, it's no longer going to be available to you. What else? Yep. RaceRoom's doing, RaceRoom's, isn't it weird? I almost feel like RaceRoom's making a comeback. I almost feel like, it's been around for a long time, and I feel like it's another one of those sims that they put a lot of work into it, and it's really coming along, or getting there, and worthy of attention. We already talked about this, but this was posted since our last show. But talking about the close racing and lots of action at the RaceRoom Esports event at the Tuning World Bodensee. Bodensee is our disclaimed word of this topic. Anyway, cool shots of the competition zone and all of the competitors, the trophy, and the video and everything to go along with it. There's Jardier. Isn't that Jardier? I believe that's his name, if I'm not mistaken. Of RaceRoom fame, you could almost say. So anyway, cool shots. I always like looking at the cool shots of the thing, especially the after the fact with the recap of everything that kind of went on. Oh, including the ADAC GT Master Championship. Cool stuff out of Forza. They had their normal week of review, letting you know all the shows, all the broadcasts and everything going on. But I think maybe the biggest, most significant thing, and I haven't tried this out yet, yeah, Max is outraged of the licensing deal. Max, come here. Come. Max, come. Max, come. He is so well behaved. Come. Max, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sorry, you guys. Come here. Go over there. Lay down. No. Go over there and lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. He's pretty well behaved. Okay, sorry about that. Crew channels, videos from people that are part of the Simpit crew. Yeah, I'd love to see more additions to that. That kind of was a test that we did. Peugeot? Is Peugeot not correct? Anyway, I think the most significant part of what's going on with Forza right now is the IndyCar. You know, May is Indy. May is the month of both the GP, which was last week's race, and the Indy 500, of course, which we talked about maybe doing the Indy 500 on iRacing. But IndyCar content is part of the big addition to Forza Motorsport 7. And, there's the Simpit car. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. Gotta like that. That'll be fun. And some shots there. Again, I'm a big fan of that car. Wonder why. Championship car, too, isn't it? Anyway, that's a big deal for Forza Motorsport 7. SimBin is hiring. SimBin. We talked about SimBin. They promised us more news, didn't they? I recall a post from SimBin where they're like, yes, you've accused us of not being forthcoming with news enough. We're going to do a better job. And then it's been crickets for months. This is the only news I've heard out of SimBin in a very long time, but they are recruiting an experienced senior programmer to work on their exciting racing title. RTA Motorsports. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you so much. Helps a lot. Always upgrading, buying new stuff, better equipment, trying to increase the quality of our streams and our content. That goes a long way in helping. I appreciate it. We do put all those funds right back into the show, just so you know. NASCAR Heat. You know, we've been showing off the racing. Whoa. We've been showing off the racing at iRacing a lot. And you know, various things. And so here we have the big competition. This is NASCAR Heat at its best. What's good? What's bad? What's indifferent? You know, you watch enough of the iRacing version. Well, they're going to be GTR3, John Hill. So RaceRoom will be RaceRoom. And SimBin's product is going to be GTR3, from what I understand. NASCAR, to me, isn't NASCAR unless you have, like, 20, 30, 40 cars. So when I'm watching this heat competition, I'm not trying to take anything away from that racing action right there. That racing action right there is racing. No matter what you do, no matter what controller you're using, no matter what game or platform, when you get down to the heart of racing, the heart of racing stems back to when they built the first car and everyone was like, that's pretty cool. And when did they start racing them? As soon as the second one was built, right? That's the way the saying goes. And to me, racing is racing. And it doesn't matter if we're talking Pinewood Derby cars, slot cars. Doesn't matter if we're talking about, I don't know, guys are funny. Get two guys in a parking lot with shopping carts and you have a race. So when it comes down to that feeling of why we do this, why do we race? You know, I don't know what it is. But we do it on feet. We do it on bikes. We do it in cars. We do it in buggies. We do it on horses. We do it in airplanes. We love that idea of competing for time, for speed, for driving line. And the heart of it, the essential is the same no matter what it is. But when I see this, and I flip the switch on it and compare it to iRacing, for example, the same competition, same prestige to an extent in the public world, the same amount of money, I believe, as far as at stake. But it just isn't the same as running NASCAR. It just doesn't look right to me. Anyway, but some great action going on at NASCAR Heat in their Esports competition, which is as big as iRacing's. Let's see here. Male competitive. Yes, it's built in. It is. And it's built into animals. Watch dogs work in a pack for attention and how they wedge and nudge and cut each other off. Watch horses race that, horses do it. And yes, Kimber, thank you. And it's not just a male thing. It's an animal thing. It's an animal instinct. Was I getting a little DJ'd out? Sorry about that. All right, podium peripherals. So a lot of people sitting on their DD1, DD2 motors, figuring out how to tune them, figuring out how to contain the monster. It is a big, strong steering wheel, so it takes... You gotta... someone else mentioned, I think Greg mentioned bloody knuckles. It might hurt you before you get where you want to go. Anyway, another post out of them, and the big thing for me that I'm going to take away from this, but this is out there, their forum. The product is available, so the podium kill switch, it's available. I'm not quite sure what that means because mine came with it. Did the DD2 not come with a kill switch? Not sure. Maybe that's an upgrade for the DD2. They're also working on a new firmware which allows you to decide if you want to just turn it off or turn off the force feedback. So that's something that's coming. Podium mounting brackets are going to be available in July. Made some last-minute changes to 80/20 cockpits, not just the Ren Sport cockpit. So that could be good news. Mine just bolted to normal Fanatec triangle pattern. Podium Hub, we will show and explain the product on May 28th and put it on pre-order. Gotta love pre-order from Fanatec. The exact delivery date will be announced as well, but you can expect launch in August, September. So they're going to build a hub, which I'm assuming lets you bolt on any wheel you want, sort of like the universal hub they had for the Club Sport. This is going to be the Podium Hub, though. And then this is the one that kind of bums me out personally as I'm trying to review the wheel. I feel like I can't review... I could do two reviews, I guess, pre-software and post-software. But the software still has some major... This is their wording, word for word. The software has still some major problems and is simply not ready yet. But you can expect at least a good beta version in May so that you can try it out. That is the Podium software, which we are definitely waiting for. It's something that I feel like I can't even review it until, like, I might, I might be having a grounding issue, and it might have come back slightly, so I might even have to go back to a different ground strap. So I'm still fighting that, and I don't know if that's me, them, whatever. In addition to that, the software might really uncork some things that aren't being utilized still, as we basically are running 2.5 type software. So that's where I'm at with my Podium. I enjoy it. I was driving great at Le Mans in the BMW. Humpday! Hotlap Humpday! May 15th. So coming up this Wednesday. I can't believe the 15th can be the third Wednesday of the month, but in the case of this month, it is. This Monday will be Hotlap Humpday. Have no idea the car or the track. We do know it's iRacing, and it will be 4 hours of where we can get on the leaderboard. I would love to see more of the pit crew show up for that. So if you want to put in your calendars, I broadcast and stream it from my end. I would love to see more of the pit crew. We got to get after these extreme motorsport guys. They are so fast, but I think we can take them. We just got to bring our A game, and we got to work together maybe. So May 15th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's 3 to 7 my time, Pacific time. I will be broadcasting that. We will have Kevin Ford in the booth. Not sure who else will be in the booth. Sometimes we get some other guests in there with us. Should be a good time. You can watch, or even better, you can compete with us. I just thought this was kind of fitting, being that I just got back from Hendrick last week. Didn't get to meet anybody in terms of their e-sport. I mean, Michael Conley is one of their drivers, speaking of. So anyway, Motorsport has been doing the getting to know the various Heat Pro League drivers. In this case, it's JR Motorsports and their two drivers, the Xbox and the PlayStation. Tyler Dohar being their 25-year-old Xbox player from Perrysburg, Ohio. And then their other driver is Jason Keffer from Charlotte, North Carolina. I was just in Charlotte, 33 years old, and their PS4 esport driver in that race we were just watching. These were two of the guys in that race. So, or one of the guys was either the PlayStation or the Xbox, not 100% which one. Let's see here. Yep, DD2, DD1 pricing. I think that's now taken place. This is a cool article. And this talks about, this is the best pat on the back for a modding community that you're really going to get. Wreckfest. You all know Wreckfest. There are a bunch of workshop, Steam Shop, whatever they call it, tracks from the community, cars and content built for Wreckfest. And there's been some DLC from the actual group behind Wreckfest. Well, in this case, they're actually honoring one of the most successful or popular modders, Tor. And there's a write-up here that's actually on Steam with Tor, but two of the tracks from his oh, look at that. That looks so awesome right there. Two of his most known tracks are going to become actual within-game content. And I think for like a lot of people that's great, because it means that when you play regular multiplayer, they'd be included in that versus, you know, everybody has to have the exact same content. So if you're playing with your friends, it's okay, you can coordinate and everybody has the exact same DLC. But the moment it becomes default content, number one, it gets added to the game. You can play it anytime solo mode. And it also becomes easier to multiplayer with. So, and it really honors Tor and being one of the known modders, creators for one of the greatest sim games ever made, Wreckfest. You can quote me on that. One of the greatest sim games ever made, Wreckfest. Cool little idea here. I didn't even check it out much, but this is for the Nintendo Switch review, but it's called Car Trader. So I guess it's a buy, sell, and profit type game. We've played these. I mean, it's like a Railroad Tycoon, but it's the Car Trader version that you can play on the Switch. Never even thought of doing such a game like that, but maybe worthy. If you have a Twitch, you might want to check it out. Don't know when, who, or how much. There is a review. Don't even know if it's good, so... Oh, look at their score. Oh. Car Trader at its core is a port of a lazy mobile game. The stock photo-based bidding sim does the bare minimum required to be classified as a game. There's hardly any use. Okay. Yeah, so obviously don't buy it. If you can obtain it free, maybe you would try it. Don't get it. Whatever you do. DrivingItalia.net showing off an article. Don't know where it originally came from, but for Motorsport is the photo. That doesn't mean it's from them. 3 hours ago, they posted this, but talk from Fernando Alonso saying sim racing and esport, he's calling export. Somebody did that. Export. Sim racing and export. I think somebody made a typo there. Are a great way to get to motorsport. And he's talking about the coming days. Things are changing. And with the attention of esport, the amount of people in esport, the amount of quality driving, you're going to see it become a more direct link to real-life racing. And we're already seeing the Igor Fragas. We're already seeing the Brendan Lays. We're already seeing the Rudy Van Burens. We're already seeing the guys who are getting shots at real-life racing. Enzo Benito winning a race against a real-life pro in Race of Champions. You know, we're seeing more and more of it, and I think that's going to happen on an exponential curve in the future. So, and this article kind of backs up that same kind of thinking. This is cool. F1's Ferrari holds talks over Netflix and esport inclusion. If you think about it, the only team not in the F1 esport is Ferrari, and now they're considering getting in on it finally. No wonder as they're acknowledging their failures with their car design for this season is what I read. Competition going on in real life at the Nürburgring Racing Tournament. Remember earlier I was talking about, what about those lower levels? Well, they do exist, and I think you're going to see more of this too in the future. But at Nürburgring, we know about their VR center that they built there. There's a few. I think there's a race room there as well. But here's what you're going to see more and more of. I think of Base 51 here in Los Angeles that just opened up. Sim centers are going to start having competitions. I mean, little go-karting tracks have been doing this forever. Indoor karting tracks. The logical step, if esport is here, you're going to see more sim centers open up. You know, they've been a varied success over the years, but with esport growing, I think you're going to see more people taking a chance and maybe a different level of success with these sim centers. But Nürburgring, for example, they're having a competition where you get in there. First place gets $50 in cash and $50 VR Center gift card and a t-shirt. Second place, $25 and a t-shirt, and so on. But you might want to look at your local area and see if there's not a sim center opening up. And if there is, maybe you're a dead ringer to go win the prizes. That's what I'm getting at. We are the pros when you get to that level. All right. Few more things. Actually, we're almost done here today. It's been a pretty fun show. Been a great way of hanging out with you guys on a Monday. Guys and girls, don't want to say it like that. But let's check out some rigs. Now, this is not a sim rig. But believe it or not, he's calling it a sim pit. This is a flight sim pit. Incredible. Look at how much time, energy, and attention to detail was done in building this flight sim. It's so good that at first I thought it was a picture of like that new area at Disneyland. I thought it was the new Star Wars Disneyland thing. I thought it was a photo of that. No, this is just some guy's sim rig. Flight sim rig in this case, but definitely motivation on what we could do if we get crazy and dedicated to it. And on a more simplistic side, you got to like this. This is posted by Not Who You Think Is on Reddit. And this is his sim rig. Very minimalistic, but going to get... Look at that little wheel. What is that wheel? I don't even know what that wheel is. That's not right. That's like a shower carpet. I identify as a sim rig. All right, what else? 80-20 rig. There's a nice looking 80-20 rig, and I believe that's a scratch built. That's not just getting a P1, their whole kit, but that's a do-it-yourself, which is how my 80-20 rig is. I have a bunch of 80-20. Occasionally, I use it to build a rig, and I love 80-20 rigs. Good looking rig there. Another setup here. Using a next level wheel stand with, what kind of chair is that? That is a badass chair right there. Playing PlayStation version, I do believe, with a T150 wheel. Nice setup there. And one more setup worthy of looking at. Pretty clean for a desktop. Playing in VR, you don't need a lot. Really minimalistic. He's got his Thrustmaster wheel. Just a cool looking gaming. Everyone has nice chairs. I'm impressed with some people's chairs. My chair is a piece of... I need to go get a chair. I definitely need to get a chair. All right, what else? We mentioned this at the beginning. Someone did mention, I can't remember who. Sorry about that. But this is really cool. So there is a special event on iRacing that's going to be a 2-hour event on May 26th in the BMW 120 at Le Mans. And I just think, wow, all of our guys are practicing the BMW GTE car at Le Mans. This wouldn't be a tough event to run as well. Anyway, that's coming up May 26th. It might be able, and look at this, the top split winners are going to receive BMW M Motorsport VIP tickets for the Le Mans 24 hours, including event ticket, guest parking, access to BMW access. Looks like no flight included. That would be a tough race to make for me. But I don't think I'm going to win the top split anyway. I do not have a GT Omega office chair. I don't have a single office chair. I use a dining room cushiony chair as my chair. But I like it because it doesn't move around, but it's not very fancy, and I actually have to cover it with a shirt. All right, what else? Simpit Truck Series. So Friday night, I wasn't here because I was coming back from North Carolina. Mark Michkowski goes on to win the race. But we do have a replay thanks to Brandon. Even though I wasn't here, he did get the full, he let it watch the most exciting view. And so you can watch that race if you missed it. But this Friday, where are we going to be at? Charlotte. What do you know? Charlotte. I'm going to be back in Charlotte again this Friday night. Charlotte, if you have not gotten in on the series, you definitely want to check it out. Just search for Simpit 2019's Truck Series under the league section. Send me an, I was going to say an invite. I'd have to send you an invite. You send me a request, and I accept you into the league, and you can race with us. We had 20 people out there. I'd like to see more like 30 or 40 out there if we could even get up to that many. Friday night, 6 o'clock will be the race. The room opens up at 4:40. And our finishing order last week at Kansas was, like I said, Mark Michkowski, Liam Quinn, and Linda Wolfing. I'm not sure if I said Wolfing correctly. So thank you guys for everybody for turning up for that one. And what else did I have to talk about? Our contest. All right. So I don't know if you guys realize this. I mean, if you're part of the pit crew and you hang out with us on Patreon, then this is no surprise what I'm about to say. But the guys do give me a pretty hard time over there. And one of the traditional things is memes. There have been a series of memes that have been done, and they've all been really good. And so as I tell you what we're going to do here, I'm playing. Now, these are pictures that I haven't, actually a couple of these were done. Some of these were originally done by me, and others are most of them are from the pit crew guys. And yeah, it is almost, but Brandon, it is not just for them, because I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. So we're going to have a meme contest. My birthday is the 21st coming up, almost a little over a week. So I'd like to see submissions by next Friday after my birthday. But take your best picture of me, put it into anything. Let's keep it PG-13, innuendo. Think about Toy Story. You can say a lot with innuendo. But what I am looking for is the best Shaun meme. You can take the emotions of things that I've done. You can take the circumstances of things I've done. You can do whatever you want to clown me, mock me, have fun with it, enjoy what you're doing out there. There's Izzy's. That was one of my favorites right there. Yeah, I mean, and the more you know me and the more you know some of the classic moments from the show over the last few years, you can play into all of that. But that one there I don't like. Whoever did that, F you to hell. So what I am looking for the best memes. You need to submit these to me, Shaun, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com by next Friday. I will gather them all, and then I'm going to let all of you vote. And there's two parts to the winner and what they get. Part number one to the winner is going to get the biggest Simpit care package ever. T-shirt, coffee mug, mouse pad, hat, and sticker. And better yet, I am going to take whatever the winning meme is and print it on a shirt and wear it for an entire month. So that'll be my fun. That will be my official shirt for the entire month. It'll be 30 days, so I don't think we can get this wrapped up by June 1st and in my hands. But the winner will get the Simpit care package and I will be forced to wear the winning meme for the entire month. But the reason I'm doing this is I'm blown away by what you guys have created, because the ones out there, I just want to show everybody, because there's been some really clever things done, and it does make me laugh. And even the harshest ones I've enjoyed. The harshest ones are still funny. I've got pretty thick skin. The only thing I ask is keep it PG-13, because I do want to be able to air them. I do want to be able to show them to the world and let everybody vote. So have fun. Enjoy. I hope we get some good submissions. I really do. I hate when we have a contest and it flops. But please send them to Shaun, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com. I will be looking forward to seeing the entries, and we will start voting after I collect them all by next Friday. And again, winner takes all. They're going to get the Simpit care package, and I will be doomed to wear. I mean, can you imagine if I had to wear that t-shirt for a month, or that t-shirt for a month? I'm not sure if we should include previous entries or not. We might have to talk about that amongst the pit crew guys. So anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. We will be back for Hotlap Humpday on Wednesday. I do have things. I'm back full steam ahead on some reviews and a Simpit Care Bear outfit. I almost put up one of those pictures, but it's like, it was actually a straightforward picture. Do whatever you want. It could be what you put in the tagline. It could be what you clip art into it. Who knows? The gloves are off. Have at it. Have fun. So next Friday is the deadline for that. That's going to do it for today's show. Be sure to join us for Simpit Truck Series on Friday nights if you're looking for some good racing and be able to watch yourself on stream. And then this weekend, we'll have more of the Simpit Rick Motec Endurance Team practice at Le Mans in that incredible BMW M8. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew and making it fun to hang out and talk about sim racing almost every day. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.